are gametes, male gametes will be there, female gametes will be there. Male gametes are called as sperms, whereas female gametes are called as egg or ova, and the union of these gametes, the union of male and female gametes is called as fertilization. So here now, depending upon where this fertilization process takes place, whether it occurs inside the body of the female or outside the body of the female, the fertilization is divided into two types, that is external fertilization and internal fertilization. See children here, external fertilization, if the fertilization occurs outside the body of the female, that is not inside the body, it occurs outside the body of the female, it is called as external fertilization. That means union of male and female gametes takes place outside. That type of fertilization is called as external fertilization, and mostly this external fertilization occurs in aquatic animals such as fish, frogs, earthworms, etc. See here children, so this is a frog life cycle. This reproduction of a frog is called as a sexual reproduction, because here union of male and female gametes takes place, and at the same time the fertilization will be occurring outside the body of the female. So the male frog releases its sperms over the female eggs. Female will be releasing large number of eggs in the water, where the male frog will go and it releases the sperm, and the process of fertilization takes place inside the water. That is why this is called as external fertilization. As this external fertilization is what we say here, it is not under the control of human beings, it is under the control of nature. So due to that one, so many number of eggs are produced, because so by chance if one is lost, other may undergo the process of fertilization. That is why the reason during the process of external fertilization, large number of eggs and large number of sperms are produced. Next, internal fertilization. If the fertilization occurs inside the body of the female, it is called as internal fertilization, and this internal fertilization mostly occurs in the higher organisms, and here mostly the organisms which are living on the land undergo the process of this internal fertilization. And here let us see now the differences between external fertilization and as well as internal fertilization. See children here, external fertilization. Fertilization which occurs outside the female body is called as external fertilization, whereas if it occurs inside the female body, it is called as internal fertilization. In external fertilization, chances of survival of offspring is less, hence more number of eggs are produced. Whereas coming to the internal fertilization, chances of survival of offspring is more, hence less number of eggs are produced. External fertilization occurs in aquatic organisms such as frogs, fishes, starfish, etc. Whereas internal fertilization takes place in cows, hens, human beings, etc. Children, I think you have understood now what is the difference between asexual and sexual reproduction, and what is the difference between external and internal fertilization. Now, we will be discussing about the human reproductive system in detail. So the next one topic is human reproductive system. You know that human beings are bisexual or unisexuals. They are unisexuals. That means they have only one reproductive organ in an organism. That is, male animal is different and female animal is different. Okay, now, so male organism. So coming to this human beings, male organisms and as well as female organisms, they will be having their reproductive organs, which helps in the process of sexual reproduction. So we will be seeing now in detail about the male reproductive system and female reproductive system, how the process of fertilization takes place and how the process of childbirth takes place. See children here, human male reproductive system. So this is the male reproductive system. You can see different parts of the male reproductive systems. They are testis, vas deferens, prostate glands, urethra, seminal vesicles, epididymis, penis, all these things. So these are the different parts of the male reproductive system. So male reproductive system, it includes a pair of testes. So here a pair of testes are present outside the abdominal cavity in the case of male organisms. So they are present in a bag-like structure. Those bag-like structure is called as scrotum. It is present outside the abdominal cavity. Why the complete system is present inside whereas the only testes are present outside? Because so it requires somewhat less temperature than the human body. Some 2 to 2.5 degrees less temperature will be present outside the body. That is why these testes are present outside, so they can produce the sperms of good quality. So that is one pair of testes are present. Now inside this testis, small tube-like structures are present. Those are called as seminiferous tubules. So what is the function of this seminiferous tubules? They produces the sperms. Sperms are nothing but they are the male gametes. Now the seminiferous tubules, whatever they produce as the sperm, they will be entering into tube-like structures. Those tube-like structures are called as vas efferentia. What they are called as? Vas efferentia. Now all the vas efferentia, they will be opening into another tube-like structure that is called as epididymis. So epididymis is the place where the sperms are stored. And now from the epididymis, so either side of the testis, from the epididymis, the sperms will be moving into a long tube-like structure. That long tube-like structure is called as vasa differentia. What it is called as? Vasa differentia. So here you can see children here. So a pair of testes are present here. So these are a pair of testes. They will be inside this. The seminiferous tubules are present. Inside the seminiferous tubules, the sperms are produced. Now it will be taken up by the vas efferens. From the vas efferens, they enter into epididymis. From the vas epididymis, it enters into another tube-like structure called as vas deferens. Now from the vas deferens, here they will be moving into urethra, and from the urethra sperms will be expelled outside. And the process of expelling of the sperms outside the body of the male is called as ejaculation. It is called as ejaculation. Apart from this, here male reproductive system includes some accessory glands. They are called as a pair of seminal vesicles, prostate glands and Cowper's glands. What is the function of these glands? These seminal vesicles, they provide some liquid that is called as seminal fluid. That fluid help in giving nutrients to the sperm. In the same manner, prostate gland also produce some fluid. That fluid is called as prostate fluid. It also give nutrients to the sperms. And this Cowper's gland, it neutralizes the acidity in the urethra so that the sperms can move freely. So this here, seminal vesicles and prostate glands and Cowper's glands, these three are called as accessory glands, and the liquid which is produced by them is called as seminal plasma. This seminal plasma plus the sperms together called as semen, and now this semen is ejaculated outside from the ejaculatory duct, and here you can see a structure called as penis is present. From this, the sperm, what we say here, the semen is excreted outside, and that process is called as ejaculation. So this is about the human male reproductive system. And males, they will be producing the sperms from nearly about 13 or 14 years of age, and it will be ending till their a long time. So here, but the production of sperms may be reduced as the age will be increasing. So now this is about the male reproductive system of human beings, and I said that what is produced? Semen is produced. Semen is having seminal plasma and sperms. And what are sperms? Sperms are nothing but the male gametes. So here, now let us see the structure of sperm. So this is the sperm. So sperm, it is having here different parts. It is having head, tail, and which is connected by neck. This is head, this is tail, this is connected by neck. And head is having a pointed structure. This pointed structure is called as acrosome. This acrosome helps in penetration into the ovum, and this head will be having nucleus inside it, and the neck will be having mitochondria which helps in giving energy to the sperm, and this tail, it helps in swimming. It helps in moving from one place to another place. So here sperms are motile. That means they can move from one place to another place, whereas ovum, that is immotile, it cannot move, it is stationary, whereas sperms can move from one place to another place, and these are produced by the testis, that is the male reproductive organ. So this is about the male reproductive system of human beings. Next, let us see about the female reproductive system. So here, this is the female reproductive system. The female reproductive system, it includes one pair of ovaries. So these are a pair of ovaries. They are located in the abdominal cavity. Inside the ovaries, the ovum will be present. Now the ovum which is released, it will be taken by the tube-like structures. These tube-like structures are called as fallopian tubes. And here these fallopian tubes will be having finger-like projections which helps in taking the ovum from the ovary, and they will be traveling into a sac-like structure. This sac-like structure is called as uterus. Uterus is inverted pear-shaped structure. It is having the structure of inverted pear-shaped. And now inside the uterus the linings are present, and the inner this lining is called as endometrium, which is this is called as endometrium, and this helps in what we say here, the egg which is released, it will be present there. And these are the other parts of this female reproductive system, that is cervix and vagina. So these are the different parts of the female reproductive system. And now here ovaries will be producing ovum. Ovum is nothing but the female gamete. What it is? Female gamete. See here how the female gamete is present. So female reproductive system, it includes pair of ovaries, pair of fallopian tubes, uterus and vagina, and this is the structure of ovum. Ovum here, it is having it is a circular structure. It is having inside it the nucleus is present and the cytoplasm is present, and these are all what we say here, it is a stationary, it cannot move from one place to another place. Now children, let us see here how the female reproductive system is present. In a video we will be observing it here. See children, you can see here, these are nothing but the female reproductive system. It includes a pair of ovaries, it is present in the abdominal cavity, and now here this, see here, these are the ovaries. These are nothing but the finger-like projections of the fallopian tubules. These are funnel shaped structures. These are called as fimbriae. What they are called as, these finger-like projections are called as fimbriae. Now see, the ovum is released. Now the ovum is slowly moving into the fallopian tubes, and it entered into the this sac-like structure. This is called as uterus, and I said that in the uterus there are different layers are present. So here endometrium is very important. Along with that perimetrium, myometrium are also present. Endometrium is very important, and here the ovum will be waiting so that a sperm can come and it can undergo the process of fertilization. So this is about the female reproductive system. Now here, so many sperms will be traveling, so many sperms will be entering into the body of the female. So they will be, many sperms will be entering here. They will be coming from this opening, and they will be entering into the uterus, and inside the uterus, if the ovum is present here, then they undergo the process of fertilization. So millions of sperms travel upwards and reach the oviduct where only one ovum is present. So here sperms travels through cervix into the uterus, searching for the egg to undergo the process of fertilization. So now here, now sperms have entered, and so many sperms will be going towards the egg, and they try to enter inside the egg, but only one sperm will be entering into the egg. All of them will not be entering. So here let us see a video now here how the sperms will be entering. So see here children, so many millions of sperms are there. They entered into the female reproductive system now. They are all moving. I said sperms are motile, isn't it? So they are entered into the female reproductive system. They are moving here and moving towards the egg, whereas the egg may be present in the fallopian tubes or it may be present in the uterus. So many sperms, they will be moving towards the egg, but only one sperm will be entering into the ovum. See here, one sperm now it has entered into the ovum. When one sperm has entered, it stops. The ovum does not allow any other to enter into it. Now the sperm has entered inside. Now it has broken down and it released its nucleus. So this is the nucleus of sperm. Now it is waiting for the nucleus of ovum. So now both of them undergo the process of fusion, and this fusion is called as fertilization. After the fertilization, zygote is formed. Now the zygote, it undergoes the process of cell division and it produces large number of cells. See here, a group or mass of cells are present. So slowly it undergoes the process of cell division, and this fertilized egg, that is called as zygote, it moves in the uterus or in the fallopian tube, and finally after entering into the uterus, a particular point, it will be what we say here, attaches to the wall of uterus. That I said endometrium is present, it attaches there, and this process of attachment of the to the uterine wall is called as implantation. What it is called as? Implantation. After getting implanted, slowly the development of the uterus takes place. Have you understood, children? See here. So fertilization means nothing but union of male and female gametes. Male reproductive organ testis, it produces the sperm, and female reproductive organs ovaries, it produces the ovum. Now union of this sperm and ovum results in the formation of zygote, that is called as fertilization. So this is the flow chart how the process of fertilization takes place. So after the zygote has been formed, I said that already the union of male and female gamete results in the formation of zygote, and this zygote slowly develops into embryo. The zygote, it gets implanted to the wall of the uterus and starts dividing and develops into the embryo. And this is the human embryo. See here, this is the embryo, and this embryo, it is now after developing, it slowly, it will be forming some membranes around it. These membranes, so there are different types of membranes surrounding the embryo. So the outer membrane which is present, it is called as chorion. This is called as chorion. What happens to this is, it slowly develops spine-like structures. It enters into the wall of the uterus, and it will be forming blood pool. And now this chorion and this uterine walls, they will be resulting in the formation of a nutritive tissue that is called as placenta. This placenta will be formed at the 12th week of pregnancy. And now here, next, apart from this chorion, another layer is there which is surrounding the embryo, that is called as amnion. This amnion layer, it is surrounded the embryo, and inside the membrane and the fetus or embryo, whatever we can say, some liquid is present. That liquid is called as amniotic fluid, and this amniotic fluid, it protects the baby from external shocks and injuries. Apart from this chorion and amnion, another two membranes are present. They are called as allantois and yolk sac. This allantois and amnion, they will be forming a cord-like structure. This is called as umbilical cord. So placenta, whichever tissue is present, from that tissue a cord or a structure, a tube-like structure is developed, that is called as umbilical cord, which joins the mother's placenta and baby. From there, directly the blood flow does not takes place, but the process of diffusion, the oxygen, carbon dioxide and food materials and waste materials can be removed from this umbilical cord. Have you understood, children? So now here, these are the embryonic membranes. I said chorion, amnion, allantois and yolk sac. And here embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood through placenta. So placenta is the tissue which is present in the mother's uterus, which connects the embryo to the uterus through villi, which provides oxygen and glucose from the mother to the embryo, and also it removes the waste materials and carbon dioxide from the embryo to the mother's blood. And this is how the fetus will be developing. What is meant by fetus? From the 3rd month of pregnancy, the baby, the embryo is called as fetus. Now this fetus will be present in the mother's womb, and this is the umbilical cord. So have you seen, this is the umbilical cord, here it is present, and this red color tissue which is present, that is nothing but the placenta. From the placenta, everything will be supplied to the baby through this umbilical cord itself. And the embryo continues to develop in the uterus. It gradually develops body parts such as hands, legs, head, eyes, ears, etc. And it takes nearly about 9 months to grow. And this is how the stage before the birth takes place. So before the birth, what happened? The child will be having head downwards. The legs will be present upwards, the head will be downwards, so that it will be easy for the process of parturition. What is meant by parturition? Parturition means nothing but expelling out of the baby from the mother's womb is called as parturition. So here these are the various stages of development. You can see at a particular days, how many days, how the embryo will be present, how slowly it develops, and these are the different stages of development. See here children, a video is being played now, how the process of development takes place. You can see here children. So I said that already here, union of gametes takes place, results in the formation of a zygote. Zygote slowly develops into embryo. Now the embryo slowly develop different organelles, and from the 3rd month of pregnancy, the baby is called as fetus. Slowly they develop different parts. So you can see here a red colored structure is being developed, that is nothing but slowly heart formation takes place, and it starts beating. Have you seen it? So here this is how the different body parts are being formed. Head is being formed, and there are different parts such as legs. All slowly the different organelles will be forming, and slowly different systems will be forming. For example, you can see here a circulatory system. Circulatory system slowly develops here. You can see the different types of organs are also being formed. So these are RBC. So here how the circulatory system develops, and how the process of each and every circulatory system develops, and slowly it develops into a complete baby. And you know that for this development it takes nearly about 9 months period duration will be taken, and that period is called as gestation period. And this gestation period, during this gestation period, the baby will be in the mother's womb and developing different organelles. You can see children here, slowly the transformation of baby is taking place here. The different organs are being formed here. So different structures are also being formed, and completely you can see here organs such as ears, and as well as eyes, nose. Slow like this, the complete baby will be formed within that stipulated time, that is gestation period, that is nearly about 9 months it takes place for the formation of this baby. So here this is about how the developing fetus takes place in the mother's womb. Then after this one, what happens, this gestation period, this is also called as pregnancy period. After completion of this period, a baby is born, and here the childbirth will be done by different ways. So here vacuum assisted birth will be there, forceps assisted birth will be there, or sometimes by operations the baby birth will be taking place. And after this childbirth, here sometimes what happen, the baby will be expelled outside. After the baby expelling outside, the material which is present, the what we say here, the excess growth of the uterus which is present, that will also be expelled outside. That process is that is called as after birth. So the parturition process is completed, the baby is coming outside. After the baby coming outside, the substances which are present, the excess growth which is present, that also come outside, that is called as after birth. And after this process, what happens, milk will be secreted from the females, that will be slight yellowish colored liquid will be released from the beginning at the first few days, that is called as colostrum. And this colostrum is very healthy, it will be for 3 to 4 days it will be secreted, then afterwards milk will be coming. So now here during all these periods the menstrual cycle will stop, and once the milk production stops, again what we say here, this menstrual cycle will start. So it is not compulsory that the process of fertilization occurs always. You know that here every month the ovum is released once in a month, but every time the process of fertilization does not take place. In some cases the fertilization takes place, in some cases the fertilization does not take place. Why the fertilization does not take place? See here children, why the fertilization do not occur, may not had any sexual intercourse, maybe the sperms may be inactive, maybe due to some reasons vaginal acidity may be increased, maybe the sperms did not reach the ovum. So if the egg is not fertilized, so if a process of egg fertilization does not take place, what happens? The egg lives for 1 day, and after 1 day what happens? It will be expelling outside. It comes outside along with this thick whatever the growth is there, and that is, you know, that is called as menstruation. So this is menstrual cycle. So this is about how the process of childbirth takes place. So what we have seen how the male reproductive system is there, how the female reproductive system is there, how the process of fertilization takes place, and how the childbirth takes place. Hope you have understood, children. So now here let us recapitulate what we have studied till now. I hope, children, you have understood the lesson. Let us once again recapitulate what we have studied till now. So let us see now here what we have learnt. Reproduction is necessary for perpetuation and continuation of life. Reproduction, in which union of male and female gametes takes place, is called as sexual reproduction. Next, sperm is the male gamete, whereas ovum is the female gamete. Fertilization results in the formation of zygote. Zygote develops into embryo. After gestation period, the childbirth takes place. Now, children, see here, improve your learning. How sperm cells adapted for their function? What provides nutrients to the growing fetus inside the uterus? What is the job of amniotic sac? What are the advantages of sexual reproduction? What happens to the wall of uterus during menstruation? So try to complete this work. Apart from this, in your SIET website, some assignments are there. You please follow that one also and complete it. Hope you have understood, children. Thank you.